This is Profiles in Risk. Hosted by Nick Lamparelli. Every week, we interview those who risk life, limb, fortunes, career, and reputation, and those who work behind the scenes who look to protect and enlighten us about risk. You can find the show notes and other insurance-related content at insnerds.com. That's INSNERDS.com. Now, on to the show.
Hello everyone. Recently I attended the Global Insurance Symposium in Des Moines, Iowa. What follows are some select conversations I had with panelists, speakers, and other attendees. If you wish to connect with anyone in this recording, just go to the show notes. Now, back to the music. I'm at the Global Insurance Symposium in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm with Stephen Goldstein. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Nick.
What have you thought of the conference so far?
It's been quite good. It's a nice array of things. So starting with Dr. Robin Chiara, it was kind of an overview of the industry. What are some main themes and what are some kind of practical takeaways that you can take from it? Then we went all the way down to genomics and how genomics are playing into the overall underwriting process. And then some panels on effective selling and technology, as well as how to educate new talent into the industry. So getting a quite wide array of topics, which are very interesting here.
Yeah. Anything that came up that you thought would ultimately make for a good blog article?
That's a good one. I think there's a lot around the education aspect for talent coming in, which I know is a very big point for you guys as well. And I think that emphasis needs to be put more. The whole conversation on genomics is very interesting. I've done a little bit of writing on it before, and I think that there's a lot of pros and cons to it. So I do want to get a bit more involved in what's happening there.
Yeah, and that's primarily the side of insurance that you come from.
Yes, is on the life side.
Yeah.
So
I actually didn't attend that one. So could you spend 30 seconds and talk about what is genomics?
Well, genomics, as I understand it, is looking at a person's DNA or their genome sequence to understand what they're predisposed to from a possible medical disorder in the future. So I think now insurers are looking at how they can, take a swab of someone's spit or whatever to do better underwriting on them. The flip side of that is then how do you know if just because you are predisposed to it because of your DNA, whether it's going to be a higher risk or not. Plus, now we have beginning of kind of human genome sequencing. How is that going to play in if someone's predisposed to something, but then you can kind of sequence them to not be disposed to it? How does that going to all play in?
And all kinds of ethical issues as well.
Ethical, data privacy, you name it.
Yeah, so it sounds like an area where the regulators will definitely have a hawk eye. Oh, we're in Iowa, a hawk eye on that particular problem.
Yeah, I think using data, they're already looking at how do you use just the data that can be collected from people for underwriting purposes, and I think now saying how are we going to use this sort of data point is going to be a whole nother challenge.
Okay, maybe the toughest question so far. Do you remember what kind of zombie burger you got?
I can't remember the name, but I know what I had on it. Bacon, goat cheese, and caramelized onions.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was pretty good. Okay, thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Nick.
Back at the Global Insurance Symposium, what's your name?
Micah Cooper.
And what do you do?
Software for the insurance industry. Solutions.
What's the name of your company?
ACES InsureCrypt.
So what's the solution?
Several: quoting, underwriting, and then secure, encrypted, blockchain-style databases for the policy admin systems.
So we've now had drinks and dinner and more conversations. So I kind of feel like I know how you're thinking. If you could pinpoint the biggest issue with insurtech and getting traction, so actually like problem solving and actually getting into the industry and actually making having a positive outcome? What's the one thing an insurtech company should focus on?
Making sure that they're solving a real problem and having context for the insurance industry itself.
What do you mean by context?
So what we see is a lot of people that are interested in selling a solution or an idea, but not sure about how that fits into the insurance. They're trying to fit a round peg in a square hole, and like with Lemonade, they struggled for 2 years until they actually hired insurance people, and then boom, they were approved within 30 days.
And you kind of can speak from experience because you have both backgrounds. You have technologist and insurance, so you can kind of look forward and piece some of these things together with the problems that kind of exist. So you actually can see firsthand when insurtechs come in how they struggle.
They do struggle. I see that. I'm 50% business, 50% software. So we often see that they come in and they have a piece of the solution. They often see A, B, C, M, J, Y, and they can't see all the way from A to Z. Mm-hmm. And if you can't vision a system or a solution from beginning to end, you're going to have some real problems, and you're going to have problems explaining that to a VC, to a carrier, whoever your partner is, or whoever your customer is.
Have you had a zombie burger yet?
Absolutely, greasy goodness.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what's your favorite kind?
I don't remember. It was over a year ago.
Yeah, I don't think anyone actually remembers, but they know it's really good. So
it's really good, and the shakes are good too.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Other questions
before
you start?
Or is it very
record?
informal?
This is informal,
Okay, good.
impromptu.
Okay.
I'm actually recording right now.
All right.
I'm at the Global Insurance Symposium, and what is your name?
Sonny Patel.
And what do you do?
I'm the founder and chief executive officer for InsureMe. We build conversational interfaces for insurance companies.
Okay. What does that mean? Could you give me an example?
So let's just say you're shopping for insurance online, you land on a company's website, hit get started or request a quote, then our interface guides the consumer through a coverage needs analysis, it builds out your profile, and then recommends the best plans for that carrier. So we build kind of it's almost like you're chatting with somebody, but it's fully automated on the back end. So not really a chatbot because it is guided. So you're clicking back the responses, making it very easy to go throughout the entire flow.
Okay, so that sounds really complicated. It sounds like you need to have a deep understanding of the responses you may be getting, and then how to walk a purchaser through that experience. So as a startup, how do you get the experience to know how to create all of the different responses that you need?
So I was an agent before doing this, so I know exactly.
Well, wait, hold on. How old are you?
23, and I started working in insurance at 18, so freshman year of college.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, so there's 4 or 5 months.
Because if you can't see this on the audio, but he does look 23.
Yeah. Hey, well, they're gonna see the video maybe, that's gonna be online. But so I had the experience of actually selling insurance and realized that there needed to be a better way. Very convoluted process of trying to, sell. I sold life insurance. So I kind of knew the questions that needed to be asked for risk analysis and then quoting and all of that. So we just basically took that, the kind of the kitchen table conversation that I or any other agent in the country would have with the consumer, and then replicated that online in a digital tool that guides customers on mobile and desktop.
Okay.
So.
And you are part of the cohort at the Global Insurance Accelerator?
I am, yeah. So I'm one of 8 companies this year that are part of the Global Insurance Accelerator.
And what did you think of that process? Would you recommend that to other startups?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a really cool program. It really stretches the imagination of the founders and the founding team in the capabilities of their companies and the scope of the opportunities that they're pursuing. So I think it's great for any insurance tech company that is focused on selling their solutions to insurance companies.
I've never been part of an accelerator. So how much of the process is to get the cohort that's in there to get you uncomfortable and out of your comfort zone so that you can,
a lot
create that business process? And who does that?
So, the GI is led by mainly two people, and then a bunch of advisors, a lot of advisors, like 100 plus. So they basically, in terms of stretching the founders, they make you go up and pitch in front of different companies right from the beginning. I mean, we were doing pitches from week 1, and that kind of gets you ready for today's big pitch. So in that regard, it grows the founders or the founding team personally in that way, that they can converse, they're comfortable on a large stage, selling their or sharing their solutions.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that way, and then also the market opportunity. So really testing the hypotheses that the companies come in with, and seeing if they're actually valid or if they can be built upon.
Okay.
So
very interesting.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Maya Strasser. I'm with Johnson out of Toronto, Canada.
Okay. And what do you do?
So Johnson is a platform that we partner with insurance companies to enable them to distribute scalable, on-demand micro insurance to their policyholders over mobile phones.
Okay. So when you define, how would you define microinsurance?
So we look at it as short-term policies, things that or insurance that you need to consume for only specific increments of time. So whether it be a few hours or even 1 hour, a week, a month, or even a season.
What would be a product? What's a common product that someone would need microinsurance for?
So I can let you know about our current in-market app. Okay. It's actually live. You can download us on the App Store. Currently, it's only available to Canadians traveling abroad, so it's travel insurance.
How disappointing.
I know. You can still download it as an American, so you can kind of check it out. But basically, you fill in your profile information one time. You'll never have to fill out a form again. It's all done on the mobile phone. And you can travel for an hour over the border, 2 hours, 3 hours. You're only paying for what you use. You swipe it on, swipe it off.
Okay, so where did this come from? You're young too, so where'd the idea come from? How did you know that there was a potential market opportunity?
So our team are avid travelers, even some travel bloggers. Mm-hmm. Getting really fed up with the process of filling out forms over and over again, sending information to the same insurance company, the same information over and over again, and not being able to do it, on the fly and for short periods of time, like an hour. And that's kind of where the idea started. We then quickly saw that there were a lot of other opportunities for short-term coverage outside of travel. So that's basically where we're going today.
Okay. So you're doing a pitch, big pitch today. Nervous?
I am not nervous. I'm super excited. This is fun.
Why don't you come back in here? So part of the GIA, I assume that you guys both do so many pitches that just it becomes second nature?
Yeah, it does. I mean, this is the biggest pitch I think any of us have done, biggest audience, but you do become comfortable with the crowd. And then, I mean, it just gets bigger and bigger, I would hope.
Yeah, and we know our product and we know our audience, so we're just excited to share it with them and show them what we've accomplished over the last 100 days.
So the insurance companies that actually participate in the GIA, how active are they in? You had mentioned, I don't know if it was like some kind of role playing or giving some kind of advice, but
mentoring.
How often do you get to see a lot of the companies that are actually participating in the GIA?
We see them often. I mean, we have, I think, 10 dedicated mentors from all walks of life, lawyers who are specializing in insurtech, insurance companies, executives who really help guide our product and help open the door to the right people at the right time within their own organizations.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of opportunities to, even collaborate and pilot our solutions with the carriers. I mean, that's what they're there for. They want to be at the forefront of innovation and seeing what the minds are coming up with. So there's a lot of opportunity to even partner with them beyond even the advice and mentoring that they provide.
Okay, so this is the toughest question. What's your favorite zombie burger?
What is it? It's the flamethrower? Yeah.
It's actually like sriracha?
No, it's like buffalo sauce, I think like blue cheese or something like that, and like an onion ring. It's just a weird combination of things. And it's like really hot. And I think
I had that yesterday, but I didn't order it. So when I bit into it and it was hot, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it's really hot.
Great.
That's why it's called really the flamethrower. So.
What's your favorite zombie burger?
So I'm a vegetarian. Oh. However, they have Beyond Meat burgers. So I did order one of those the last time I was there. And I have a feeling it was also the flamethrower because I love spicy food. So if it would have said spicy on it, I would have ordered it. So yeah, just with the Beyond Meat patty.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fresh. I'm back at the Global Insurance Symposium. I'm with the man, the Chief Marketing Officer for Trusted Choice, Ryan Hanley. Welcome.
Yeah, dude, it's been awesome to get to know you. I mean, obviously we've been digital friends for a while, but getting to spend some time has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you did a panel this morning. And when can we see the giant audience selfie?
Tuesday. I don't know when this will go out, this interview, but next Tuesday, the May 1st, it will be live, yes.
I might have to delay this just for that so I could put the link on the show notes. So what have you thought of the GIS so far?
I like it. It's most of the time I'm around agents or carriers in the independent agency space. So to go into an environment like this where not everyone is bought into the system that I obviously believe in is a lot of fun. You have a lot of cool conversations. There's a lot of interesting topics brought up. We had an amazing conversation last night at dinner. I keep referencing it because I so rarely get to hardcore geek out in insurance coverages and what were we talking about? Cat modeling.
What's funny is when I'm in the middle of one of those conversations, I actually feel weird because I feel like I'm having a blast. I hope I'm not dragging these people with me, and they're just like, I can't wait to get to my hotel room. But it's good to hear that someone else was actually having a good time.
Oh, no, I love it. Every little boy's dream is to be an insurance nerd. So here I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your video camera, what do you call this?
So I refer to it as a howitzer Canon of cameras, but essentially this is a Canon 1DX. It's their top model right now for DSLR cameras. So it's like the level below like an actual film camera that you would use, and worked our way up to this bad boy. I mean, this isn't an inexpensive piece of machinery here, but I started with cell phone videos. I started with a really super entry level camera, then I got another step up, and then when I finally realized or figured out or had the budget, went and upgraded, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so walk me through how you went from being an agent to being the chief marketing officer. So let me simplify this.
Yep.
Do you feel like you've had a marketing gene even when you were an agent?
Do I have them? No. So I will try to do this super, super short backstory so I actually graduated with a math degree from the University of Rochester. I started out as an engineering major, failed out of that, and the only thing that I could change to and still graduate close to on time was math. So I somehow made that work.
You might be the most affable math-related person that I know.
And the worst part is I can't even do simple addition or multiplication anymore. It's been so long at this point. I know what I can recognize the numbers, but I don't even know how to put them together.
So basically, you're saying you're really good at taking tests.
Yes, I'm a really good test taker, and I would position my bullshitting ability versus just about anybody out there. That all being said, I went through a bunch of kind of crappy corporate jobs that didn't really fit, and my father-in-law, who wasn't my father-in-law at the time, I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall, and he owned an independent insurance agency. So this is out of all the cliches. He walks me out of this holiday party to his office. It has these wood-paneled room with the big high leather-back chairs, and he basically does the offer you can't refuse. And I think he didn't want his little girl to be married to a bum, So he's like, I'm going to teach you the insurance business. And he did. Here's the deal. The truth of it is I got incredibly lucky. My father-in-law's agency is a top 5% of the top 1% agencies in the entire country in terms of how he operates. He runs a $2.5-3 million book with 11 employees, predominantly personal lines, incredible customer service, 94-95% retention rate some years, and they continue to grow year after year. So I was educated for 8 years on how to actually run a successful business in the real world, not all the bells and whistles, and I hated every second of it. That's how I got into marketing. And then, so we kind of parted ways because I didn't want to be in that world. I thought I wanted more, and I moved out. I kind of moved on, and TrustedChoice.com picked me up, and we started Agency Nation. It's been amazing, but I look back in that time, and I was like, I didn't realize how lucky I was on this education that I was getting. And now, when I talk about the business, I talk about it in a way that I'm so appreciative of what he taught me. When at the time I thought he was just being an asshole.
You got a good compliment this morning. I was talking to someone. Your name came up, and they said, "Oh, it was very interesting talking to Ryan last night. I knew he was for the agent, but he was open to, not just allowing the agent to have business as usual. That the agent had to step up their game and raise the bar."
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of what you do and what you talk about is being accepting of new technology and most of all, taking care of the customer.
Yes, and this is why I'm such a big fan of the things that you guys do, is that, and because your message is so similar, it's we have to hold ourselves accountable for the fact that the world is changing. I still believe, and I believe wholeheartedly, as was my presentation today, that a human agent has to be part of the equation for a large portion of the population. There'll always be people who are willing to click a button and move on. But for the larger portion of the population, a human agent still needs to be part of that. The interesting part, and I think this is where all these conversations really need to be going, is at what point is it optimal to inject them into it? I don't know that blunt force, cold calling upfront is where the agent has the most value. It's certainly not in things like car changes and printing out, Canadian driver's licenses and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff is not important anymore. However, understanding all the trusted advisor stuff that unfortunately trusted advisor is kind of cliche at this point, but it's how do we get them in the moments where they're needed? Because they are needed. But I think we either don't inject ourselves in those moments or we inject ourselves too often, and both have consequences on either side.
Yeah. You have a Buffalo Bills
yes.
cell phone
Proudly,
case.
America's team.
Could you describe to the audience that may not have seen my Twitter posts, why are the Buffalo Bills America's team?
Okay, so commonly misunderstood, Dallas is referred to as America's team, and some amazingly insane people in the eastern half of Massachusetts believe that the Patriots are America's team, and both are actually wrong, and here's why. So the colors of the flag, just what are they?
I think they're red, white, and blue.
Okay, so America's flag is red, white, and blue. We drape ourselves in it when we win the Olympics. It's our most proudest symbol for our country is the flag. Yet the only team in the entire NFL whose colors officially are red, white, and blue are the Buffalo Bills. Mistakenly as well, many of those people in eastern Massachusetts think that the Patriots share that, but they don't. One of their official colors is gray, not on the flag. Dallas, blue, white, and gray. So if we're actually thinking about who America's team is it the Dallas Cowboys? Is it the Patriots? Or is it a blue-collar, Rust Belt town built with nothing but salt-of-the-earth Americans who team is red, white, and blue?
So if you're listening to this and you are the owner of the Buffalo Bills, I think you may have found your new chief marketing officer. Thank you, Ryan Hanley.
Which I may take that job. I am open to that.
That's the one job you would take.
That would be one of the few jobs I would take, is if the Buffalo Bills come calling, Trusted Choice may have a hard time keeping me.
Awesome. I look forward to the Patriots beating you twice again next year.
Yeah, but our marketing will be better.
I'm back at the Global Insurance Symposium, and this is the after hours. I'm at a table with lots of golden drinks, if you know what I mean, and some burgundy ones as well. So I'm going to interview a couple of people that are sitting here. What is your name?
I'm Laura McKiernan Boylan.
And who are you with?
I am with Haven Life.
And what is Haven Life?
Haven Life is a digital life insurance agency. We're owned by MassMutual, and we sell term life insurance direct to consumers.
Where are you based out of?
MassMutual is in Springfield, Massachusetts, and our offices are in New York.
Okay. So, why are you here at the Global Insurance Symposium?
I was on a panel this afternoon about underwriting in life insurance.
I don't know a lot about life insurance, so I'm going to just ask you a couple questions about that. Is it still a requirement to have a medical exam?
Not in all cases. It depends on your situation.
What about me?
I would need to know more about you.
I'm Italian.
That doesn't help me. We don't use that in underwriting.
How can you not use that? So that seems like a good insurtech use case. You could do that. Under what circumstances would someone not be required to have a medical exam?
So our fieldless underwriting program is open to clients age 18 to 45 up to $1 million in coverage.
Do I look 45?
No, much younger.
Thank you. I wouldn't qualify, but thank you so much.
Other companies have programs that are eligible for higher ages.
How did you enjoy the panel?
I'm very nervous when I'm speaking in public, but it was fun. I liked it.
I'm enjoying interviewing you because you got very enthusiastic when I started asking you questions. So I think you're the perfect interview guest. I'm sure you rocked the panel.
I do like talking about life insurance and underwriting in particular.
Well, thank you for answering those questions. I'm going to switch over to you. What is your name?
Paul Winston.
And what do you do?
I'm Chief Commercial Officer for Insurance Thought Leadership.
I'm familiar with Insurance Thought Leadership. For our listeners, what is Insurance Thought Leadership?
Insurance Thought Leadership is a website that sort of curates the best and brightest sort of thought leaders on insurance innovation. So very broadly, all parts of the insurance industry, all sorts of ways the industry is innovating, but in particular technology, I would say.
What do you do for promotional aspects for ITL?
Oh boy, well, a part of it is, events like this at Global Insurance Symposium, we're a partner. We're able to sort of eat our own dog food in that we sort of use our own promotional channels. We send a weekly email newsletter out. We talk about what we do,
The six things, yeah.
6 things.
I read that.
Yeah, well, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
We use, email channels. There are a lot of event sort of partnerships where we're trying to get our name in front of people. And then just a lot of, talking with people like you.
Who's a tougher person to work with? Paul Carroll or Dave Diaz?
Boy, both of them are great to work with. So I will say that I came from sort of an editorial background, and Dave is sort of Dave Diaz is a consummate networker, salesperson, and it's just a very different skill set. And what Paul does as editor-in-chief is much more familiar to me. I've got tremendous respect for what Dave does, but it's not something that I do. So it's kind of like, wow, it's different. It's not difficult at all, but it's different.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask both of you another question. One more. It's the hardest one. Okay. Have you guys been to Zombie Burger?
What?
Zombie Burger.
No.
Have you been to Zombie Burger?
I looked it up on Yelp. I have not been there.
Shame on both of you. For the next event that you come, you'll have to go to the Zombie Burger. Okay?
Unfortunately, I'm flying out at 6 a.m. because I have tickets to see Harry Potter on Broadway tomorrow.
But you'll be back to Des Moines. All roads lead back to Des Moines.
Sure.
You heard it here. All roads lead back to Des Moines. There's a book there somewhere. Thank you both. So, back at the Global Insurance Symposium, drinks are going wild. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Marty Agather.
And what do you do?
I do a lot of things, but I've been in the industry for quite some time, and I'm working with Innovators Edge, and we are a connection point between insurtech and risk tech companies and insurance companies.
Walk us through. So someone that might be listening, wondering how that might help. How can someone get on the Innovators Edge platform?
Well, if you're an early stage company, you can get on the platform at no charge. You come in, you fill out a profile, and we present you to our subscribing members, insurance companies. If you're an insurance company, you come in, and that's a membership cost to join and to be able to explore and determine which companies might match your needs, and more importantly, avail yourself of the innovator sort of processes that we've developed, patented, and will deliver to your organization.
How many companies are currently in the database?
We have 38,000 insurtech and risk tech companies in the database. We differentiate between insurtechs. Those would be companies who realize that insurance is their primary market. Risk techs are those companies that are really focused on reducing risk in the environment. They may not even understand that insurance is part of their ecosystem, but they are actually affecting the business of insurance.
Okay, so you're a controversial gentleman, aren't you?
I have been accused of being an instigator, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, we're here at the Global Insurance Symposium. You have a database full of insurtechs. What's one thing you see, let's put a 5-year time span on it, that you think is going to hit what kind of insurtech do you think could be a big winner in the next 5 years?
So, well, there's certainly some key technologies that are out there. I think artificial intelligence and the way we apply that to policy definition, to risk identification, to underwriting processes, to customer experience are all key components. I think telematics and the way that's going to impact sort of the issues surrounding one of the biggest lines of insurance, the auto line. I think that's huge. I personally believe that we're going to see 50% or more being taken out of the cost structure of auto insurance, and that will revolutionize the business that we're in. Wow.
What about autonomous vehicles?
So autonomous vehicles, that's part of that whole risk takeout, right? So the question is, so autonomous vehicles does a number of things. There's four factors that are affecting in my perspective, vehicle insurance today. There's the concept of connected vehicles. The more data that goes to the cloud, the more we understand what's going on in the vehicle. So it helps me understand you as a risk, but more importantly, if there's an accident, we know exactly who's at fault. So think about what that means from a claim standpoint. A is for autonomous vehicls. That's going to reduce the total number of insured vehicles on the road. Why? Because I need two cars today because my wife and I go different directions. In the future, I can go to my work, I can send my car home, my wife can take that car to her work, we can send it home, and my kids can go to their soccer game, and then the car can come and pick me up. I don't need two cars, I need one car. Exposure reduction, right? A total decrease in number of insured units. Shared. What's going to happen when many of the vehicles, one of the leading individuals in the shared vehicle economy says that a shared vehicle takes 15 cars off the road. Think about what that does to the exposure base. And then the whole concept of electrification of vehicles. And electrification actually may be a net positive to the insurance industry because of the cost of reconstruction of a vehicle due to the batteries and all that stuff. So there's a number of different factors affecting it, but realistically, autonomous vehicles is going to drive a huge change in the way we deliver value to our consumers. And the question I have is that as the cost of risk goes down, as the potential exposure limit goes down, how do we sell the product to a consumer where the potential for loss has decreased that much?
So there should be tech that also helps to sell the product.
Oh boy! Yeah.
I saw some tech here. One startup in particular that it seemed like that was the entire technology was to assist agents and brokers in basically crafting different ways to sell insurance products. I think we kind of lost that as an art, being able to sell this stuff. You're old school.
Yeah, I am definitely old school.
Do you remember the time when the insurance industry had all the best salespeople?
So let's talk turkey. Let's talk turkey. I believe I came out of insurance sales, so I believe that selling insurance is one of the least understood and appreciated skills out there. We're selling something that is invisible, that is a promise based on some future thing, right?
Nothing you can use right now.
That's exactly right. And those people who were really good at doing that were very well compensated. The problem is that the modern consumer has changed, and that doesn't mean that in the right instance I don't want human interaction and I don't want the skill set of an expert. The problem is that modern trends have led the consumer to believe that they are the expert, and they should be able to determine what is the appropriate thing to buy. So to some degree, that has created a challenge for a mainstream agent or broker. I believe that the real differentiator is having a storefront is no longer enough. If you are going to deliver expertise, you do need to be that expert. I believe that for too long, insurance has been sort of a general store opportunity, meaning that I will sell you anything because I'm an insurance guy, right? I know about everything. That's not the way the world works today. Today we are in a world of specialty stores. I don't want a nail. I want a roofing nail, or I want a concrete nail, or I need a framing nail, 8 penny, not 16 penny, right? I need a galvanized finish nail. And the insurance sales organization says we do everything for everybody is a message that resonates with nobody. What we need to do is we need to begin to develop specialties and profess those specialties and actually become experts in those niches that we want to sell in, because that the consumer that's coming to us has a specific problem. It isn't an everything problem. It's I have a very specific problem in my niche, and I need to know you're an expert in my niche.
That makes a lot of sense. What else? What are we missing?
Oh, there's all sorts of stuff we're missing.
I know, we talked a lot.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So, thank you.
It's your dynamite. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm back at the Global Insurance Symposium, and what is your name?
Katie Patchett.
And what do you do?
I am the Director of Public Relations, Public Affairs, and Events for LS2 Group in Des Moines.
And what is your role here?
Our team helped put on this year's Global Insurance Symposium with the Planning Committee.
What's the toughest part? First, how many people are here at this event?
Yesterday, when we checked registration numbers, we were at 660 people from more than 17 different countries around the world.
Okay, so it's a giant event, tough to organize. What's the toughest part of creating an event like this?
I think it's just having to think through all of the little details and the different aspects that go into all of the different events within the larger event. There's 1,000 different things going on every minute of every day, and that requires thought and planning and buy-in from the committee and from all of the different partners that we're working with. And lucky for us, we have a really great team, and this audience has just been so engaged and excited that it makes it a lot of fun to plan for. But I would say probably just all of the little details that we have to worry about.
Does it take like 2 months to prepare, or no, of course I'm joking. When you start planning for an event, how much in the future do you need to start putting some of the details together?
Months out. We always say the earlier the better. I would say that planning really kicked into full swing 4 to 5 months ago, and it's a team effort, so things that we're thinking about every day, every week. It depends on how long it takes. Really, we've done events like this on much shorter notice, but when we have a longer lead time, it allows us to think more creatively and put in some bigger things into motion a little bit earlier, just make things a little bit more fun for the attendees who are going to be here. But, it just depends on how long we're brought in advance. But yeah, it's a great opportunity and a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Now the toughest question, what's your favorite zombie burger?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember what it's called. My favorite thing from Zombie Burger are actually their shakes. Their chocolate shake has cake batter in it, and it is a magical experience.
I can't even imagine having a shake after a burger, considering how big and sloppy the burgers are.
The burgers are pretty amazing. I follow Zombie Burger on Instagram just to see their Z Burger of the week, or it's ZB of the week, and they do different rendition of a creative burger every Thursday, and it's always amazing. It's ridiculously decadent. I would say my favorite that's on their regular menu has peppers and onions and cheese, and it's, decadent but delicious.
So I went there Tuesday, and I have one song stuck in my head from being there. Can you name that song?
Oh, I want to say Monster Mash, but that makes me sound really nerdy.
I was there for 3 hours on Tuesday, and they played Zombie from the Cranberries 3 times. It's still stuck in my head.
Oh, R.I.P. lead singer of the Cranberries.
Yeah. It was like 3 different versions of it. One was the Cranberries. So anyways, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Back at the Global Insurance Symposium, and what is your name?
Holly Gronsett.
And what do you do?
I'm the publisher of Digital Insurance.
What is Digital Insurance?
Digital Insurance is a media brand that services over 200,000 senior-level insurance executives through our Dig In event, or Women in Insurance Leadership, Insurance Analytics and AI, our website, our print special issues, and our e-newsletters, as well as custom.
I've seen a ton of Dig In, and today was the first day that I was actually told what that was. So how many events do you do?
We have our 3 bellwether events, Dig In, as well as the Women in Insurance Leadership and Insurance Analytics and AI. But through our Source Media parent company and our conferences department, we also have a lot of custom events as well.
Okay. When's the next event?
Dig In 2018, coming up May 14th through 16th in Austin, Texas.
Oh, awesome event. I know a lot of folks here will be going. So if someone that's listening to this wanted to attend one of those events or was interested, what might they see or hear if they went to one of those events?
Lots of networking, 10 tracks. There's over 1,000 people are already signed up, so probably about 1,200 other peers that they can network with and enjoy some fun extra events as well, and many presentations, including, we have about 175 speakers alone, so That should give you an idea that we have lots of content.
Okay. One of your other 2 bellwether events, when are they coming up?
Insurance Analytics and AI is the last Thursday and Friday in September, and our 11th annual, and that is also in Austin, Texas. That'll be the 5th.
What is it about Austin?
Our conferences department must have gotten a really good deal. Then we also have Women in Insurance Leadership. It'll be our 11th annual event, and that is in Chicago, October 29th and 30th at the Swiss Hotel.
Fantastic. Now the toughest question. What is your favorite zombie burger?
No clue.
Shame on you. Do you know what Zombie Burger is?
I do not.
Zombie Burger is the institution here in Des Moines, and they have a zombie-themed burger joint. And guess where you're going to lunch?
I'm driving home. Sorry.
Where are you based out of?
I'm based out of my home in West Dundee, Illinois, but our headquarters are in New York.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.